secretly. His name's Jin. Oh! Hello, wizards. So I was supposed to upload a cat video today. I didn't get that done on time, so this is what you're stuck with. So today I wanted to tell you a few awkward experiences from school, which everyone has like a lot of. So I decided to tell you two. The first one being getting called racist in 5th grade by my teacher. And the second one being, what was the second one? And the second one being so bad. Being misidentified by a sub, which I'll go into more detail into both. Okay, so I decided to start with a really awkward experience in the 5th grade where I was called racist by a teacher. So I'm going to give you the backgrounds of it. So I was in class. I had this teacher named Miss Walsh. Really weird teacher. You know, like Miss Umbridge? She acted really sweet but was super mean. And so I was just hanging out with my friends. It was right before we were supposed to go out to recess or lunch. We were sitting there and we were like pulling faces and stuff. One of my friends named Jonna, she went like this. So without thinking, I was like, "You look like a fat Asian." We were both cracking up, and this kid named Matt, he turns to us and says, "That's racist." And I turned to him and just look at him like, what? How is that? What? And remember, I'm like 9 or 10, so my teacher overhears, and she comes over like, "What did I hear? Did someone get called racist? Did someone say a racist comment?" And Matt was like, "She did." And I was like, "What?" And so she's like, "You said a racist comment?" And I was like, "I said she looked like a fat Asian because of the face she was like putting on, because of the face she was pulling." And she goes, "I have adopted 2 Chinese babies." And I was like, "Okay." And just like, so I personally get really offended when someone says a racist comment about a Chinese person. And I'm like, "What? Like, what? I did what?" It's not like I was calling Jonna. Jonna's a really, really pretty, she's from Indian descent, so she's gorgeous. And Jonna didn't care. She was like, yeah. She was laughing with me. And it's not like I was offending her or Asians alike. And she's like, "Maybe it was a misunderstanding, but I personally don't like it when people say racist things." And I was like, "No, duh. Like, obviously, but I'm like 12-year-old. I don't know, I'm messing with my friends and this little, snitch. Who's not even snitching? What is he snitching on? Me calling her a fat, looking like a fat Asian? Like, what Asian is fat? No Asians. Like, it's like, all Asians are skinny. It's like, all Asian girls are so pretty. Alright, getting off track. Anyway, so I was like, no, I didn't. And, really offended, and the funniest thing, I think personally, that I can remember so clearly is me wanting to, say, "Yeah, wasn't your daughter just pulled over or just arrested for drunk driving?" Because she was. I read it in the newspaper. I forget her first name. It feels like some really common, white girl name, like Ashley. Ashley Walsh, arrested for driving under the influence. And I wish I said something. I wish I was like, "Wasn't your daughter arrested for drunk driving?" And it makes me so mad that I didn't say that. 'Cause I can feel how embarrassed and how good that would feel if I said that to her. That would feel so good if I had said that. Anyway, so I didn't. And again, like, I was really sensitive, and so I didn't know what to do, so I just started crying, like, in front of the whole class. And I didn't, like, I just couldn't stop. I just started crying and, like, shaking and stuff, because when I cry really badly, I'll start, like, hyperventilating and shaking, like spaz attack shaking. And so I was doing that, like, convulsing in my chair, crying, and my teacher just walks away. And I was like, oh, and it's so embarrassing right now, like, thinking about it. I'm like, oh. On to my next story. So in the 8th grade, I got a haircut, and it was a pixie cut. I'll show you a picture right here. So as you can see, it was really short, like that short, and I had to be, like, really careful about, you know, how kind of I presented myself, so I didn't come off too boyish, so people could know I was a girl, you know. And about maybe 2 weeks after I got it, we had a sub in my English class, and we were splitting up into groups, and I was at the far end in an all-boy group, just because that's how it sorted out. I was the only girl in that group. It was like three boys and me. I was walking over to the table back there, and the sub was checking everyone in, and so I was just standing there, and she was like, okay, Henry, who's in my group. There's Henry, Will, me, and it was like Randy or Jared or someone, one of those kids. And so I was just sitting there minding my own business, and the sub comes over, and she's like, okay, Henry, and then she looks at me and she's like, oh, you must be Will. Dead silence in the classroom. Dead silence. I just look at her and go, no, Megan. And she goes, and it must have been pretty awkward for her too, but my heart just dropped. And I was just like, I could feel all the blood run to my feet, and I was just like, oh my God, she called me Will. She mixed up my gender, and I was like, it was so, like, dead silence, like, and everyone just, like, stopped everything, and I was just like, I didn't know what to say, so I just like, looked at her with my eyebrows, like, really raised up high, and went, no, Megan, and her face just goes, like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that, and I couldn't believe she said that. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I was like, but the worst thing, not even her saying that, but the worst thing was Will, who's this really cute, sweet kid, comes back into the room, and Henry, who's really obnoxious, was like, ooh, Will, and we're like 14 by now, and it's not like we're like 6 and we like call each other names, but they called me Will. For quite a while afterwards, I was just mortified, and the sub like pulled me aside, and I was like, oh, please don't pull me aside right now, please just stop. You went far enough by calling me Will. And she's like, I really hope you're not as embarrassed as I am. And I went, well, they're calling me Will now, so, you know. And she just didn't know what to say, so she just like walked away, and I was like, and I've been called another time. This isn't, I've got other stories of me being like people mixing up my gender when I had the pixie cut, but another one that was really, I just wanted to punch the guy in the face, was where, my friends and I, obviously all girlfriends, and I were in the Apple store. There's about, I'd say like 6 of us, again, all girls, and we're looking at some cases for my friend Allie to get for her iPhone. And so we're standing there, and this, you know, guy, probably about like 30 or so, tall, like beard and stuff, comes over and he's like, "Oh, you guys hanging out?" And she's like, "Oh, you guys like hang out with your friends and stuff, and you dragged your brother along." What? Like everyone else looks in the group looks confused. I just stop and go, again, like heart drop, face completely white. Oh my god, not in front of all my friends. Not in front of, just like, you did not just say that. And I knew immediately he was referring to me as the brother, but it took my friends like a few seconds to realize it. They were all like really confused. And then like one at a time it started clicking in their minds who he was referring to. Obviously it was me. I was wearing, you know, shirts and a t-shirt. And it was just like everyone besides me. I was like, no. Please tell me he did not just say that. Right as he said that, he walked away. So I couldn't like retaliate at him. And so I just stood there, and every one of my friends was just staring at me. Some of them were like smiling and like giggling and stuff. So I was like, that did not just happen. So I immediately pulled one of my best friends aside and begged her to come with me to the shop that sells like earrings and like hair stuff, and bought some clips for my hair to pull it back that were like little bows and stuff, so I'd be more like feminine, I guess. But it was just mortifying. I was so mad, so scared, like it was bad. My tongue itches. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I have a lot more awkward experiences. If you guys want to hear about them, leave a comment below and we'll answer all of you. If you want, like this video, you can subscribe if you want to. If you don't, do whatever you want.